Life obviously has its ups and downs. There are plenty of times where we feel an excruciating amount of pain, but I'd argue that the only thing that feels worse than anything else has to be feeling alone and feeling isolated. The idea of being excluded from your tribe hurts like hell. See, you clicked on this video because you somehow resonated with the word loneliness, either because you've gone through it or you're currently going through it. In this video, I want to tell you my story and how I dealt with loneliness and how you can do the same. My name is King Kai. I'm a personal trainer who focuses a lot on self-improvement while I geek out on anime. You and I are obviously the same since you found my videos, so go ahead and scroll down, subscribe to the channel right now, and see what I have to offer. Out of all the emotions that come from growing up from being a kid to a teenager, I'd say that the most prominent has to be the feeling of being alone. I had a pretty good childhood for the most part, but I'd say there's definitely something that just felt out of place. I'm naturally introverted, so that might be the case, but I've always felt a little bit different from other people. Since I had such low confidence in myself, I was often retreating into seclusion through drawing. You would find me in the back of the classroom, nose in my sketchbook, and I would not look up at anybody ever. But when I truly realized that I was alone was when I went to college for a whole semester. PhD student over here. I never finished college. If you didn't already use your amazing deductive reasoning skills to figure that out, I would walk around campus in between classes with nothing to do, and I would see all the different kinds of people there. And that includes, the friend groups, the couples, the sports teams, the nerds. Everyone had their own little clique, and I didn't. And that's when I realized that I felt even more alone inside of groups than I do by myself, and so I was basically stuck in this infinite loop. You wanted to make friends, but then the social anxiety would be crippling when you get the opportunity to make friends, so then you go back to being alone, and then the loneliness feels even worse. This feeling of being alone translated into my relationships because I couldn't communicate properly, and then I felt even more alone in the relationship. It's just a whole mess. So what happened with you? Did you sit alone at lunchtime? Did you get excluded from your friend group? Whatever happened, I'm pretty sure I can relate to it because I've been through a lot of it. Go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section talking about your story because I want to know more about you. I'm going to teach you guys exactly what I did to alleviate that feeling of isolation, and I hope that you implement it promptly, because if you don't, then I'm betting that you're going to be in this situation for a very long time. Step 0 is to journal it. Just shut up and do it. I'm going to keep saying journaling for the rest of my life. Everything that happens out here is a direct reflection of how you feel in here. And that includes your friend groups, the girls you're dating, the situation that you're in, your financial situation, your body, your room. All of that stuff is exactly a reflection of how you feel about yourself. So before you fix anything else, you need to make sure that this is all good. Step 1 is to make a conscious effort to change your environment, and you can do this by going for a walk. Now, I know I'm asking you to do something dangerous here. The rumbling's happening outside. I'm asking you to go take a walk, but listen, it's very important. The social anxiety and loneliness in my case was an obvious after effect of the excessive internet consumption, and I refused to go outside. I just didn't do it. I had very hermit-like tendencies. I had my blinds closed, so there's no sunlight coming in here. I wouldn't go outside for walks. I didn't have any constructive hobbies, and I'm stressing constructive for a reason. So obviously that needed to change. Taking simple walks outside is a great way of shaking up your daily routine, and it can actually show you that the world is an actual beautiful place, and you're not going to be as scared of everything outside of your own little safe space as much as you were before. And then when you go on walks, you're going to naturally see other people, and then once you start interacting with more people, then it just feels natural to be around other people. Now, step 2 is to engage in different hobbies. Now, man, listen, I love video games every now and then as much as the next guy over here, right? Hogwarts Legacy is coming out later this year, and I'll be hitting people with the Avada Kedavra, but listen to me. You're going to need to put the controller down for a while. You're immediately going to say, but gaming is my hobby. But bro, look, listen, we're feeling secluded here, and if you're feeling secluded from doing certain habits, then those habits are going to have to change. Binging One Piece and playing Elden Ring hasn't gotten you very far, now has it? Let's take a little break and figure out what it is that we actually like to do outside of the video games and go all in on that. And once you do, you realize that a lot of people are just like you, and they're going to be doing the same thing that you like. Loneliness is really easy to cure when you surround yourself of birds of the same feather. If you're around people who think just like you, you're not going to feel secluded. See, in my case, a lot of the times where I felt lonely is because I tried to forcefully inject myself in social situations that I obviously did not belong in. And this can contribute to feeling like an outcast, but if you just turn this off and you go where you are wanted, then loneliness naturally drifts away. And the third thing, step 3 that I did to alleviate the feelings of loneliness is to lift weights. Now, I am sick and tired of hearing all of these depressed guys saying girls only go for the chads and that their life sucks, this, that, this. And then when I recommend weight training, they're going to say something like, oh, but weight training doesn't really do anything. That's not the point. That's not what it is. Da, da, da. I don't want to live for other people. I want to do it for myself. Bro, listen. This isn't about other people. This is about you. See, stupid people on Instagram have reduced weightlifting to a pursuit of vanity, but it goes way deeper than that. Weightlifting reminds you that you have the power to change. You literally morph the flesh that you live in to look completely different than it did before. And the thought of this gives you power. It gives you strength. It reminds you that you can change. When you walk past a mirror and you actually love the thing that you're seeing for the first time, then I guarantee you there's nothing on this planet that can tell you anything. Weightlifting gives men such an unfair advantage, but it pains me that not a lot of people are taking advantage of this. So I hope that you do. Unless you have a legitimate reason as to why you can't lift, you should be lifting, period. Now, this is just a overview over what I did to feel less lonely. And to recap, I just went outside, I just looked at the trees, I said hi to random people, I lifted weights, and I really felt good about myself. And then this in turn builds up your own self-love. And once you love yourself, you're okay being by yourself. Only when you're okay being alone is when you start to attract the best quality of people into your life. And then loneliness is a thing of the past. None of this happens overnight. But I do think that with a lot of persistence and hard work, you can definitely flip your life around. It's much better to be in the light than going back to the darkness. This is your sensei, King Kai. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next video. Deuces.